So let's talk about the different ways we can get information from an SAP perspective. So if we think of how we can get access or data from an SAC report, the most common way is you log into SAC and you click refresh and you get your data. So that's a very common scenario. So someone needs a login to make that happen. There are also some users who want the data pushed directly to them. And so when I worked at JP Morgan, this is a very common scenario where anyone with a managing director title or a VP in their name were very unlikely to log in to run a report. So they wanted it in their email, or if it was a customer, they wanted it faxed or FTP'd to them. Of course, now today we would do secure FTP. So those were some of the requirements when we sort of sent out collateral reports or data quality reports to management at JP Morgan. So what are some of the different folks that we have as information recipients? So first and foremost, I was talking about executives earlier. So my experiences with any vice president or managing director, they were actually looking for briefing reports or KPI reports that were sent to them on a daily basis, usually off of some event. So some event would happen in the background and we would send it out to them. The second scenario, or the second group of information consumers, would be customers. And there's a variety of reasons why we want to send things to customers. So from my perspective at JP Morgan, it was for collateral calls. So we're sending them a collateral statement. They might owe the bank some money for a position that's gone out of the money or in the money, et cetera. And they needed to shore up their account. So that would be a sort of a common scenario from a banking perspective. But there was a whole variety of different ways that you would want, or reasons why you would want to send customers PDFs or Excel files, et cetera. Also, too, you don't necessarily want to open up your backend system to customers, right? Not that it isn't possible, but it just means that you have to have a little bit more security in your system to do that. So there's two examples there, executives and customers. Third would be finance teams. So finance teams doing a bunch of reconciliations and consolidations, and they would need these personalized and at a certain level of granularity based on company code and a whole variety of other things. And you typically would send an Excel notebook to them so that they could go do their work. Another interesting one is for our retail industry. So where store managers need to receive either a daily, weekly, monthly sales report, an inventory report, so they know what's going on. I was working with a retailer yesterday, actually, where we're looking and doing this for them. But the idea of this concept was showing them the margin on a daily basis so that they could start to impact that by selling a wider distribution of products so that they could expand that margin. And so, but this is typically something that you would send out to your managers on a daily basis. And of course, depending on the industry you're in, suppliers would also be someone that you would want to collaborate with. And so sending reports to suppliers so that you could support just-in-time delivery of parts is a very common scenario. And you could base that off, hey, I just got an order, here's the piece that you need to fill, and off it would go to that parts supplier. And then another interesting group, and one that I work with a lot, are sales teams. And sales teams very seldom go into an office. They're on the road, they're visiting customers. They're doing more than golfing, folks. But a lot of these folks need reports in the field, and it's a great way to kind of deliver that to them. It could be current sales orders, or more likely to be their commission statements, those type of things, current order status, those type of things are delivered to information recipients. So a lot of these information recipients in your enterprises, long story short, I consider these information consumers who not necessarily want to log onto the system, but definitely need their data. And scheduling is one way to get that data to them.